Volvo Trucks North America's press conference 2022 here in Long Beach. It's fantastic to see so many people here. 2021 we thought it could not be topped, but what I heard from Eric Leandros this morning or this afternoon, sorry, it will be topped one more time, maybe even cracking 8,000 people. It's fantastic. My name is Fredrik Lindfeldt, Director of Brand Marketing Communications, and Peter Verhoeven will host this press conference today. He will walk you through the latest advancements of Volvo Trucks North America when it comes to sustainability, electromobility, and future technologies. Don't miss the opportunity. We have a number of subject matter experts here on electromobility as well as future technologies. Please engage with them the coming days. They're here for you. We want to have a dialogue with you and give you more deep dives when it comes to any information you'd like to understand and to hear. So with that said, no further delays. I would like to hand over to you, Peter. So please take over the subject. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fredrik, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome to at Expo 2022. Welcome to the Volvo Trucks North America booth. And I have to say, I am extremely impressed with how many people we have today here in the booth, but also at the Expo in general. 9 months ago, we were here as well. Oh, by the way, sorry, my name is Peter Verhoeven, Peter V for the ones that find the last name difficult, and running Volvo Trucks North America with a lot of pride and honor since 3 years. And a lot has happened in those 3 years. Let's go back 9 months ago when we had ACT Expo here as well. And then we had not that many trucks here on the floor. We have significantly more trucks. We have sold significantly more trucks that are operating. And what we all can say, ladies and gentlemen, is that this development to decarbonizing our transport system, this development to zero emission, it's going on and it's going fast. And every time when we try to predict what's happening, we're wrong because it goes faster than what we actually think. Today I'm going to talk to you about what we have been doing, what we are doing, what we're going to do, and how we are then accelerating the shift as you see here above me, because that is what it is about. It's about accelerating the shift. 9 months ago, we said at Expo, we need to act now. 9 months ago, I had the honor to open in one of the keynote speeches, and I said, something is going on in the world, and we need to start going. We need to start acting. We need to start acting now. Today I'm telling you we need to act now, we need to accelerate the shift, and we need to deliver. Within Volvo Trucks we have a motto. We want to move the world that we want to live in. And many of us want to move the world, I heard, but we want to move the world we live in. And what does that mean? Obviously we very much believe in driving prosperity to transport solutions and infrastructure solutions. But more importantly, we believe that we have the size to impact the world we live in. We believe that we can drive our offering in such a way that we ultimately get there where we want to go. We signed the Paris Agreement. We commit to that, the less than 1.5 degree global warming. And how are we going to do that? We're going to do that, ladies and gentlemen, with these targets that we have. We are going to move towards fossil-free transports within the Volvo Group and within Volvo Trucks. Volvo Trucks globally has set the target to reduce our CO2 emission with 50% in 2030. Because then we will go to 2040 and reduce with 100%. It basically means that by 2040, all our vehicles will be zero emission vehicles. How that exactly looks like, I will show you later on. I've shown it before, I'm going to show it again. One maybe detail then what I would like to say. We sometimes talk about Volvo Trucks and we talk about Volvo Group. The Volvo Group has a target to get to 2040 at 100% reduction as well, but 35% in 2030. And that's because we're a group with many different brands and many different machines. Volvo Trucks has set the target for 50% in 2030 and 100% in 2040. With that, then, ladies and gentlemen, we will come to a rolling fleet in 2050 that is zero emission. And that is very important. We've done a lot of work on our products. We have set the targets now to get there. We're committed to the Science Based Target Initiative. As you might know, that goes hand in hand with the Paris Agreement, because you can say, yeah, we believe in the Paris Agreement, but then you need to put your money where your mouth is, so to speak, and then you need to follow it up. We're committed to that, and we have now all the techniques and calculations in place to get to that Paris Agreement and to the targets that you see here. 90% of the carbon footprint that we generate as Volvo Group is basically by selling and the use of our vehicles. But 10% comes from how we manufacture the vehicles. And so not only do we look at our products, we also look at how we work. If you see on this slide here behind me on the left-hand side, you see our engine manufacturing plant in Hagerstown, Maryland, and you see our assembly plant in New River Valley. These plants are, sometimes I need my glasses, I apologize for that. These plants are carbon neutral. They work completely on renewable electricity, and New River Valley has the ISO 14000 standard for environmental care and has a dual ISO 50001 superior energy performance platinum award. So our manufacturing facilities are carbon neutral. If you look in the middle then, that you see the customer center, beautiful customer center by the way, in Dublin next to our factory, and there you see then the headquarters in Greensboro. They also are working with 100% renewable energy, and they're landfill free. On the right hand side, what you see over there, and that's maybe even the most important thing, we drive sustainability also as a mindset. All our employees, everybody we work with, including our dealers, we are now having discussions on how can you make sure that sustainability is part of your daily work, the decisions that you take, how can you take sustainability into account. So it's a full 100% end-to-end approach to sustainability. It goes further than the truck alone. And the machine, by the way, I don't know if you've seen it there, we will talk about this beautiful truck later on. Electric VNR, I'm going to talk about that more, and the electric excavator there. It's electrifying. So then we have been looking at the product, we've been looking at our industrial system. Then what we had to do is that, okay, then there's one more thing that we can look at into further decarbonizing the transport and further decarbonizing the whole system. And that is then how do the parts get to our factories. Now 9 months ago, we did the same press conference, and then we said we were proud to announce that we are going to work with our suppliers and our customers, because they're the same, to work with electric vehicles and bring then the parts to our factories with electric vehicles. Today then I'm happy to share with you that we announced that, and now it is happening. Cameron, Watson Town Trucking, Online Transport and Cameron Logistics are now running with electric vehicles and are delivering parts to the plant. By the end of the year we will have 8 trucks, 8 electric trucks, 8 electric VNRs driving. And this is important, ladies and gentlemen, what I want to share with you. We announce something and then we do it, we deliver. We act now, accelerate the shift and deliver. And this is a very good, very good example of that. I'm very happy to see these electric trucks driving to our plants. All this started with the LIGHTS project. I will come back to that a little bit later, but the LIGHTS project, the Low Impact Green Heavy Transport Solution. 2019 was the first ACT Expo that I was here, and we started the LIGHTS project. That's when we did the handover, that's when we, together with South Coast Air Quality Monitoring District, NCAR by the way, did all the whole financing. And with our partners, with our 14 partners, we started the LIGHTS project. Now we are in the 3rd year. We have 25 trucks driving into the LIGHTS project now since the last 3 years, and we have learned a lot. And what we have done is we have bundled all these learnings into a lessons learned guidebook, because we want to share. The LIGHTS project was an end-to-end process. It was not only about the truck. It was, we had DHC and NFI working with us, operating the trucks. We had the Port of Los Angeles and the Port of Long Beach working with us. We had our dealer tech equipment. We had schools. So we had everybody together. The Edison was part of that, and we learned a lot. We learned a lot about infrastructure. We learned a lot about charging. We learned a lot about how to operate the truck. We learned a lot about how to manufacture. All that is now together in this lessons learned guidebook, which you can download from the website. And because we want to share that with everybody. We want to share the learnings that we have, right? So that we can further accelerate the shift. This is not a secret, right? This is how we are as a company, by the way. If I may give you a quick example, in 1956, we invented the 3-point seatbelt, and we did not patent that because we found it important for safety of the world and all the human beings to benefit from that. This is the same thing. This is not a secret. We want everybody around here to learn from that so we can go faster and we can accelerate the shift towards a zero-emission transport environment. The LICE project was a success. It is a success. And I'm very happy to see that, and we got some awards, but this one is very special. So the Southern California Association of Governments awarded the LICE project with the Outstanding Achievement in Sustainability Award for 2022. That is a big thing, ladies and gentlemen. And for everybody who was part of the LICE project, I applaud you. That's Barbara Reynolds over there from CARB. I mean, and the fact that she takes the time to do this, really, really outstanding. And I'm sure that the LICE project has been one of the critical elements that has allowed me and my team here today to show you all these beautiful products and all the achievements we have done so far. So let's go to one of my favorite products over there, the VNR Electric. Right, so this is generation 2, right? So what happened? In 2018, in quarter 4, we announced that we were going to electrify the VNR Electric. We said we want an American truck that was designed here, developed here, and built here, but then electric. So that became the VNR. We did that with a driveline that we worked with Group Technology. I think I told you before, Volvo Bus started with this 10 years ago. We continued to develop, and then we used that into the VNR Electric. Then in 2019, as I said, ACT Expo, that's where we and the 14 partners and South Coast Air Quality Monitoring District started the LICE project. One of the things that was interesting in the LICE project is that they said, yeah, you can lead that, but you have to commercialize the truck. So we cannot go away with the truck that does a couple of rounds and then do something else. No, that truck has to be commercialized, has to be sold, and it has to be manufactured. So on the 3rd of January 2020, we launched the VNR Electric Phase 1 with a 150-mile range. People said, oh, well, why do you launch something with 150 miles? And we said, because nobody can do anything with it. That's not true. A lot of people, and you see that right now, I'll show you a couple of pictures. A lot of people could do something with the Phase 1 truck because it was relatively quickly sold out, and it is driving in many places. I'll show you later on some pictures. It is driving in many places on the East Coast, on the South Coast, on the East Coast and the West Coast, delivering goods. So we started producing, so we launched in quarter 4 2020. We started production in quarter 2 2021, and then this year in quarter 1 we launched the VNR Electric 2. 85% improvement in performance. 270-mile range. Not 270-mile range. 6 batteries, 6x4, 6x2 configurations, and this is now, accelerating the shift. Let me put it like that, accelerating the shift. Production, ladies and gentlemen, today. We are now producing the VNR Electric Phase 2. We're now delivering it. This is the first one. By the way, if you want to see that truck, it's okay until Thursday because Bill Lim from NFI will take the truck on Thursday with him. It goes back into the harbor and do the work that it was meant for. These trucks work, ladies and gentlemen. I get a little bit enthusiastic, but you can understand why. Now going into electric transport is not a simple thing. There's a difference between buying an electric truck and a diesel truck. Therefore, we have what we call the electric ecosystem. The electric ecosystem is basically our teams, my teams, that cross-functionally work together and then go to the customer and they say, okay, well, because more and more of our customers now have a sustainability strategy. More and more people are convinced that we need to do something and that we need to do something now. More and more people are convinced that we want to reduce carbon emissions by at least 50% in 2030 or in 2035. So many people are asking, how do we do this? With a 150-mile or a 275-mile range truck, that means you cannot use it everywhere. So hand in hand consultative, if you want, hand in hand. We sit around the table with the customer. We look at the routes. Where does it work? Where does it not work? We look at the product, obviously, which configuration. We have basically all configurations that you can think of we have now. We don't have a 10 by 6, but that's not really necessary in this case. We look at financial services. How do you finance a truck? But also, and maybe more important right now, how do we work with incentives? We all know that the asset purchase of an electric vehicle is elevated versus a diesel vehicle. But luckily, with very good initiatives from state agencies like CARB, but also in New Jersey and in a lot of states right now, you have these incentive programs, and we will help, our teams will help you to find out which incentive to use so you can get going. Charging infrastructure, I will come back to that later on, super crucial. You heard it also earlier today. We need more, and we need to do it better, and we need to be able that if you charge 50 trucks that not one city goes completely down. So there's a lot of work to be done there. But we, for the moment, look now mainly at, okay, if you start with 10 or 15, or we even have trucks, customers with 100 trucks, we look at how can you work with home depot charging and destination charging. And finally then maintenance and repair. An electric truck is something else than a diesel truck, therefore this comes with a gold contract. 6-year contract, maintenance from bumper to bumper, completely everything included, including the batteries, so you have ease of mind and you can run that truck. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you drive together with your customers, how we accelerate the shift towards a zero-emission system. What is very important, and that goes for all our trucks, be it diesel, be it electric, uptime is key. Ultimately, I always say it like that, you don't buy the truck, well, you buy the truck a little bit for fun, but mainly it is an investment, it's an asset that needs to give a return. That return requires uptime. We give an uptime promise, and we give the same uptime promise for our diesel trucks as we give for our electric trucks. Therefore, we need a support system, our dealer network, that can handle this. During the Lights project, we figured out together with Tech Equipment and our own teams, what do you need to do in a dealer to be electric certified, EV certified? Because you work with other things, safety is important, tools are important. So we have developed a whole program that allows our dealers to get EV certified. 9 months ago, here we go again, 9 months ago we announced that we had Tech Equipment in Fontana and Malaya Trucks in the Bronx in New York as the first 2 ones to be certified. Today, 9 months later, we have 12 truck dealers that are certified. And they're not only in California, right? Read with me. So Tech Equipment, Fontana, La Mirada, Oakland, Affinity in California, and Malaya, I already spoke about that. Then we have Hudson County Motors in New Jersey, you see Virginia, Pennsylvania, Idaho, Maine, and Quebec, Canada. And then we have 40 more about to become certified. So we're going really fast in, and this is so important because you need a reliable support network. Within the Volvo Group, we are very happy to have that very good dealer network that now in a very rapid change goes electric. And that leads to scaling. Here you see the customers that we're working with, and these trucks are in operation, not pilot. Manhattan Beer, Martin Brower for McDonald's in Canada, Albertson, Producers Dairy, we have QCD over there, Performance Team, Group Renault, Saya, Penske, all of them are now running with these trucks. They're part of their normal operations and the scaling goes fast. Oh, now I go very quickly. Oops. So, what we see now is that with some of our, and they're not even customers, they're partners, ladies and gentlemen, what we see now is that this leads to, it works. We have a positive impact on the environment, we can run in a profitable way, we can serve our customers in a good way, and we come to return orders. In that case, I would like to thank very much QCD and Shane Blanchette for an order of 30 VNR Electric. Thank you very much. And what was interesting, QCD Shane, he was our first largest electric order ever. And at that moment it was 14 trucks. Right? And normally 14 electric trucks was a big deal. It ended up on the front page of Swedish newspapers. Plus one then in the Lights project, plus 30 is now a fleet of 45. Zach Wagner from Gateway was the dealer who facilitates all this. Again guys, thank you very much. I spoke earlier about NFI, who was one of the partners in the Lights product, who have been running these trucks for a very long time. Bill Bleem has been always very enthusiastic about the trucks and has them running and running them hard in the harbor. And NFI has decided to place another order of 60 additional Volvo VNR Electric in their fleet. I mean, it's so good to see, because what does it mean? Of course it's good, right? So you can say, but it means it works. It means the concept works. It's not a gadget. It's not a thingy they want to have. It's something that really works, and we see now this going forward. Volvo Energy. So we've spoken a lot about trucks, but infrastructure is key. And we recognize that within Volvo Group. So we have set up a separate group in the group, so to speak. It's called Volvo Energy. Volvo Energy focuses on two things: infrastructure and charging, and battery circularity. Infrastructure, and we do it in Europe and we do it in North America. We're very happy to have the head of infrastructure and charging with us, Christina Nielsen. Christina, very welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions on infrastructure and charging, Christina will help you. And she's here in the US, not because she likes it here, because we are working here as well. It's great to be here, obviously, but very important, we are working on infrastructure. The other thing, what you maybe hear a little bit less about, is battery circularity. Battery circularity is key, because ultimately what we don't want to end up 6 years from now with a bunch of batteries that we don't know what to do with. Battery circularity is key from a sustainability point of view. We're not going to store them somewhere. We're going to reuse them, we're going to recycle them, or we're going to do something else with them. And that has a big impact on the environment, and it has a big impact on the residual value of the truck, because we all know how expensive the batteries are, so we need to do something with them. So battery circularity, infrastructure and charging, that is Volvo Energy, and that is the newest development that we had within the group. Now, let's talk about diesel as well, because when we do 50% electric vehicles in 2030, we also do 50% diesels. And we will not stop developing our diesel engines and the way we equip our diesel trucks. We launched iTOR. I'm not going to go into a lot of technical detail, but what I would like to say is that this is a turbo compounding engine combined with a 13-speed gearbox. We added the crawler gear. Right? We're the first one, by the way, to add a crawler gear in an AMT, which allows us a taller rear axle ratio, as you go from 2.47 to 2.17, which basically means at speeds between 55 or 85 miles per hour, you have lower revs, you have less fuel, better fuel consumption, and lower GHG. So also in this area, we're continuously working on a better sustainability. We believe ultimately that there are 3 roads to zero emission vehicles. That is battery electric, fuel cell electric, and the combustion engine. And I've showed this before, right? So we want to get to 50% in 2030 and 100% in 2040. It will be with those roads. And what will it look like? And I've shown this picture 9 months ago, and this is still valid. This is roughly what will happen, right? Battery electric vehicle is now here, right? We are producing it, we are delivering it, it is being used, and it is working, and we're getting more orders for that. So battery electric, mainly for urban distribution and for regional haul like drayage. The longer haul, heavy haul applications will be fuel cell electric. That will happen somewhere in the second part of this decade, and I would dare to say it's not 2029, but it is in the second part of the decade that you will see this coming through. And next to that you will have internal combustion engine, but then with renewable fuels. Is that renewable diesel? Is that renewable natural gas? Is that many options that we are investigating right now. So that's how we will get to in 2050 to a zero emission rolling fleet. Before I go to the last, to our dear friend, beautiful friend over there, you see now, and I hope you see it with me, right, is that we're not talking about we're going to do this and we're going to do that. We're talking about we did this, we have the trucks on the road, we have the second generation launch, 275 miles in production right now. Order books are open. Zach will take orders. Sue-Ann will take orders. Now, the other thing is that, and this time we're going to talk a little bit about autonomous solutions. Demand for transport seems to structurally outpace the availability. We've seen that through Corona, we've seen that right now. There is an enormous focus on transport, and we need to come with bolder, safer, more sustainable solutions for this extra transport demand. So proud to show here for the first time then the Volvo Autonomous Solutions, the VNL 760 with the Aurora driver. This is an autonomous truck, and together with DHL we have now the first commercial product to drive the autonomous truck. This will help us in a transformation to newer transport solutions. This will not replace the transport that we have. It will be additional into very specific segments. And again, very much, and thanks for DHL, which I don't, we don't have them here, but thank you very much for DHL to partnering with Volvo in this first Volvo Autonomous Solutions truck. And look at it, I mean, isn't it beautiful, right? And not only is it beautiful, it's very, very efficient. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm running a little bit out of my time. You need to go to our dear friends from Penske, I know. Thank you so much for your time. It's time to step up. It's time to do something. It's time to act now. It's time to deliver now. I am convinced we are delivering, and we do that because we have to. We owe it to our children. We owe it to the world. We owe it to the next generations. I think it's important to leave this world in the same or even a better state than where we got it. I thank you very much for your attention, and I wish you a very good afternoon.